I'm not like you, okay? When I say I can't, I can't!
Cyborg was never my favorite Titan as a kid. It wasn't that I didn't like him, I just didn't connect with his episodes that much. Also, Season 3, his season, wasn't my favorite either. But now that I'm older, I resonate with him a lot more. His struggles of identity and stubbornness in wanting to prove himself is something that I think all of us relate to one way or another. His episodes are a sort of pep talk when I watch them now. Although Cyborg is part machine, some episodes show that his strength comes from his willpower rather than his cybernetics. The Titans often battle villains with amazing combat skills and awesome powers, but some of their toughest battles is their own inner conflict. Each of the episodes that I will be talking about highlights a different stage in Cyborg's journey towards understanding his identity and ultimately self-acceptance. One of the qualities of his that I honestly overlooked when I was younger was his pride and dedication for the things that he makes. He is a bit of an engineer / craftsman. He makes cars, submarines that double as a spaceship, normal teen stuff. We see that in the episode Car Trouble. I mean, he is just beside himself introducing his newly built T-car before he even shows the thing to the Titans. His car unfortunately gets stolen by a couple of punks who wanted to take it for a joyride, and then to add salt in the wound, Gizmo takes it from them and decides to keep it for himself. Feeling bummed down by the situation, Raven decides to help Cyborg take back his stolen car after seeing him drinking 14 milkshakes. I mean, this is a kid's show featuring teenagers, so they obviously couldn't feature alcohol, but milkshakes instead, it's a little funny to me. She also gives him support, showing empathy for his situation.
Maybe you were right. Maybe it was just a car.
Maybe. Maybe not. When I use my powers, I have to put a little of my soul into whatever I'm moving. I become a part of it, and it becomes a part of me. That's kind of what happened here. It wasn't just a car. It was your baby.
Yeah. Thanks, Ray.
As a creative person, it's hard to separate yourself from what you create because you put so much of yourself into it. Even a simple messy sketch on a piece of scrap paper that was haphazardly drawn is so precious to me that I simply can't throw it away. I have to keep it. And I have lots of it in my drawer along with the rest of my sketchbooks. But there are times when you just have to let it go. Part of the artistic journey is not treating everything too preciously, which again, for me as an artist, is difficult to do. I remember listening to an episode of the Braving the Elements podcast a few years ago. It was a supplementary episode after the episode 4 commentary of the Avatar TV show featuring Jenny Kwan, the voice of Suki. One of my faves from the show. There's a moment in the episode where Janet Varney, who voiced Korra, talks about her Legend of Korra co-star Lance Henriksen, who played Amon's lieutenant. She talks about Henriksen being a potter and how he makes a pot and then breaks it after he's done as a sort of exercise in not attaching yourself or your worth too much into what you are doing. You do the thing, and no matter the outcome, good or bad, pretty or not, you have to be able to let it go. Well, it's easy to say that about something minor like a pot or a messy sketch, but a car is something different entirely. It's complicated, it's expensive, it takes time and effort, and it serves a practical purpose. So Cyborg being salty about it getting stolen, especially since he made it, is very much warranted. They managed to track down Gizmo, but not before Overload possesses the car and dares Cyborg to destroy it. Cyborg has no choice and blows the T-car to bits. He's super bummed about it now, but Raven is still there with him, encouraging him to start again. We end the episode with him building another T-car, but this time with Raven's help. Quick question, who's funding these kids? Where'd they get the money to build a giant tower in the shape of a T and build cars and submarines from scratch? Because I'm pretty sure it's not Batman, since Robin and him split up before the Titans met, and they are certainly not getting paid to be superheroes, especially with all the collateral damage they bring every time they fight a villain. All jokes aside, I like this episode more as an adult because I understand it better than, say, being a 7-year-old who just wanted some action on screen. And yeah, his craft is different from mine, but the lesson remains the same. Another lesson that I took away from this episode is that just because what you created didn't get much love, got rejected, or worse, got destroyed, you have a chance to try again and work on something new or better. You could also just be proud of the work itself even if no one liked it. Of course, this is easier said than done, but it's a good principle to have. In a way, that's kind of what I'm doing with this channel. I'm just gonna do the best work that I can with the tools and ideas that I've got and hope that something sticks. Cyborg, for being a half-robot, is quite well adjusted to living a normal life. He can eat out with his friends, he can drive a car, he can joke around with people, he can do everything a regular person can do. And yet that doesn't alleviate his insecurities about his new body. That doesn't take away the fact that he isn't a normal person anymore. We see this vulnerable side to him when he goes on a reconnaissance mission to the Hive Academy in the episode Deception. He shows off his holographic generator rings that masks off his robotic parts. The team is impressed, but as much of a good friend as Robin is, his phrasing could have been a bit better.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you were just normal.
Thanks.
We cut to Cyborg checking himself out in the mirror, flexing his guns, while Starfire stands at his doorstep. Embarrassed, he explains that he has forgotten what it's like to have real hands. Well, almost real. She comments on how convincing the disguise is, but she says that she prefers the original version. In a sad tone, Cyborg says that this is the original version. He goes undercover as Stone and sort of re-experiences high school life again. Despite it being a supervillain academy, he gets to re-experience normal school stuff like goofing around with people, getting excited for classes and dances, and getting initiated into a certain clique. After a successful mission, he looks at his original self one last time as Starfire offers her support.
For your thoughts, I will pay 6 grub fars.
If that's your way of asking me if I'm okay, don't worry, I'm fine. I never got to finish high school because of this. And when I was at the Hive, for a while there, I actually felt normal.
I did not know you before, so to me, you are normal.
I'm assuming none of us are half metal, but I bet all of us at some point felt like we didn't fit in. Growing up not relating to a lot of my peers and not getting to experience a lot of the stuff that they did because of what made me different definitely made me feel othered. There were times when I would be in a room and I couldn't relate to anyone, so I just stay in my little corner and draw. But I was fortunate enough to have also met wonderful people who started the conversation and just kind of took me in and never made me feel like I didn't belong, and who are still my friends today. Cyborg may not be fully human anymore, but his difference doesn't really matter to the Titans. In a sense, their differences are what brought them together and what make them work as a whole. In the origin episode of the Teen Titans in Season 5, Cyborg says to Raven that she fits right into the group before the Titans became official.
Mind telling me why you're always by yourself?
You heard the kid. I don't exactly fit in.
He's green, half of me is metal, and she's from space. You fit in just fine.
Starfire's line in the previous scene is really heartwarming. She's the perfect scene partner opposite Cyborg because she is also very different from everyone around her. She's an alien from another planet and isn't really the best with the customs of Earth. And true, she didn't know Cyborg when he was fully human, but that doesn't really bother her because she sees his humanity past the cybernetics. We explore this side of him more in one of the earlier episodes from the show titled The Sum of His Parts. The episode opens with the Titans out for a picnic day, enjoying some downtime from crime fighting. While playing football, Cyborg suddenly powers off, shuts down, and falls to the ground, his blue robotic parts turning gray. The Titans resuscitate him by powering him back on, and he checks his battery life, saying that he just needs some charging. He leaves the Titans, but now being in a sober mood. On his way to the tower, he meets a fan of his, a kid with a prosthetic hand who comments on how similar they are because of his prosthesis. Cyborg gets an alarm though, before he could properly continue the conversation. He ends up underground after an attack from Mumbo short-circuits his makeshift battery pack. A man who calls himself Fix-It revives him though and is working on repairs on him. Cyborg thanks him and is about to leave to go back to the team, but Fix-It insists that he stays. Later, we find out that what he really meant by repairs is doing away with Cyborg's human parts completely, making him fully mechanical. Cyborg, of course, objects to this. As his human memories are about to be downloaded into a new brain, they overwhelm Fix-It, stopping him from completely reprogramming Cyborg. He offers his help to fix it, having remembered what it was like to be fully human through Cyborg's eyes. Then he meets the kid again later and finally gets to tell him that as similar as they are, their artificial parts aren't the thing that's important.
It's the stuff connected to it. Now, go deep!
Cyborg has adjusted to living as well as he's able. But think about it. You wake up every day and see yourself in the mirror, and what is staring back at you is a half-metal creature with your face. It's gonna take a toll on you psychologically. And on top of that, you're only 18. I know Cyborg is a fictional character, but he, along with others, are written so well that you really get to connect with them on a deep level. I can't obviously relate to what Cyborg deals with when it comes to his body. I'm not disabled, I don't have a prosthesis, but not feeling at home in your own skin is an experience that all of us go through at least once. The best way that I dealt with this is just accepting that the body that I have is the body that I have. I can work on improving and shaping it, but at the end of the day, it's what I've got forever. Again, it sounds easy on paper, but put to practice, not so much. With all the beautiful people we see online, dealing with the spiral that comes after is about as easy as getting out of quicksand. I'm mainly saying this to myself because I need this lesson hammered into my head, because it really is that easy to be caught by the bait, although I'm sure other people will definitely relate. Cyborg's central conflict throughout the series is him grappling with the fact that he is half robot. Now, it certainly has its advantages, especially in their missions and fights. He has a sonic cannon, he has radar, he has radiation detectors, he has sonar, infrared. The guy has a lot of cool stuff built into him. But that's the thing, those features are built in. Most of his body is not organic. He says he's half robot for simplicity and brevity. I'd say 90% of his body is robotic if you just look at his exterior. Which means when he works out, his muscles can't really grow anymore because they're not muscles, it's metal. His backstory is barely mentioned in the show, but in the original Teen Titans comic from the 80s, Cyborg, whose real name is Victor Stone, used to be an athlete and was very good at it, but now that he's half robot, he can never live a normal life ever again. During a training session, Cyborg is carrying more weight than he can handle. His teammates cheer him on, shouting their encouragements, and like in my previous essay, we get another one of Starfire's isms here.
Yes! Inform that large mass of metal who is the boss!
Despite his best efforts, though, he gives up, and he dives down for safety and walks away frustrated. He lets off steam by playing a video game with an online opponent named Atlas, and when Cyborg beats him, he blows a hole into the tower and challenges Cyborg. He kidnaps the rest of the Titans as trophies. Cyborg gears up and faces Atlas again, but succumbs to his limits and walks away feeling even worse. As he wanders the empty streets, he sees his reflection and essentially gives himself a pep talk to go back and give Atlas a taste of his own medicine. He returns to finish the job and again reaches his limits, but this time finally pushes through, now using his human half for strength. He defeats Atlas and he has a newfound respect for himself after accomplishing something he thought was impossible.
Guess we better get you a new one of those.
Don't need it anymore. My body may have its limitations, but if I put my mind to it, there's no limit to what I can do. After all, I'm only human.
Only Human is one of Cyborg's best episodes. We are shown his more negative side, like his short-temperedness and defeatist attitude, and that flaw is challenged and overcome. What's great about this episode is he is being allowed to let off steam in his own way. His way of dealing things isn't to talk about his feelings or meditating. He likes releasing anger through an outlet that's contained, like a video game. But what's important in all of this is, despite his sulking and pessimism, he goes ahead and faces his opponent head on because he has no other choice. Also, I appreciate that he didn't defeat Atlas immediately. He had to try again and again before he finally managed to push himself beyond his limits, which circles back to the beginning of the episode. During the training session, he says,
No! I cannot!
Compare that to when he finally one-ups Atlas.
Yes, I can!
Sometimes I think it's not really a physical thing that limits our capabilities. It's our mindsets. It's quite interesting how we can be so objectively skilled at something in technical terms, but when our mindset does not align with that, it often is enough to block us from achieving our potential or surpassing our limits. It's basically the cheesy believe in yourself lesson that every story has. This episode is sort of like Trock, where Atlas functions similarly to Valior. Starfire navigates around how she can prove that she is not worthless without conflict, despite Valior's negative presupposition about Temeranians. Cyborg faces Atlas head-on no matter how much he gets degraded or insulted as being nothing because of his human half. As a kid, Cyborg to me was just the loud member of the team. As an adult, he is a character that I appreciate because of how real and, ironically, human his struggles are. I'm not an athlete or a gym rat or anything, so I can't really relate to this episode in that way. But this was a reminder that progress is not linear, and it's definitely not comfortable all the time. You will get your ass handed to you a bunch of times and you just gotta deal with it however you can and get back up. It will feel disheartening and downright humiliating at times, but if it's something that you really want to do or something that gives you meaning or whatever, get back on the horse and follow your north. As I stated in the beginning of the essay, Cyborg wasn't my favorite character, and now having explored 4 episodes that center him, I gained a new appreciation for his character. His episodes have a tough luck kid vibe to them, but also have enough pep and inspiration in them to kick your own ass to get back up. Carrie Payton for me will forever be the best Cyborg out there. The duality of energy and vulnerability to his performance perfectly captures his character, and that booyah will forever be iconic. So yeah, Cyborg is a pretty awesome character. And with that, thank you for watching. Take care, guys.